the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network, where you'll find everything fantasy football. From rankings, sleepers, breakouts, and everything in between, we've got you covered.
Ready? And here we go!
Every episode is one step closer to you winning a championship. If your goal is to win, you're in the right place. Here's your host, Troy Lofton, right here on the Bayou Bingo Fantasy Network.
Welcome to the NFL. Let's go! Let's go!
Yo, welcome in everybody. Yo, Kevin, it's good to see you. If you're still in here, I really appreciate that. Bud Files, good to see you guys. There is so much free agency going on right now, and I just wanted to break out some news right now, just fresh, hot off the press. Deontay Johnson is getting sent over to the Carolina Panthers to team up with Bryce Young, finally giving him some type of weapon. Maybe can he do something? I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but at least George Pickens alone by himself as the 1A wide receiver for the newly acquired Russell Wilson. That is awesome. Yo, Tuber Chat, what's going on? Yo, Kevin, man, I really do appreciate you being here, man. We got a lot of information to cover, especially in the fantasy football realm. Free agent frenzy is going absolutely bonkers right now. But with free agency going bonkers, I just wanted to let you guys know, don't overreact, right, to all of the news that's going on. A lot of times people say, oh, this guy's coming to this team, this guy's coming to this team. There's new people coming in that might be relevant, right? You don't want to overreact to those things. That's always something that you want to try to steer away from as much as possible, because sometimes it can get you in a problem. Sometimes you may buy or sell somebody because of the hype that's going around, and you don't really want to do that. So I'm here to just let you know, don't get overly hyped over some of these guys, maybe somebody coming to your favorite team or somebody going into a good situation, because we don't know how that's going to play out at the end of the day. So one of the first things I do want to go over today would be Joe Mixon getting traded over to the Houston Texans, and it could be a huge advantage for the Houston Texans. We've already got a nice young nucleus there with CJ Stroud. Let's just go over the depth chart here and kind of look at what's going on. We see CJ Stroud at the quarterback position with Joe Mixon now, the newly acquired #1 running back for the Houston Texans. And you see Dameon Pierce there, going to be his backup as well. Dameon Pierce kind of lost his job to Devin Singletary last season, and he never really got that back. So Devin Singletary was the man. He ended up moving over there to the Giants, as we spoke on yesterday. And now they ended up trading Joe Mixon. You guys probably saw on my channel that I released a news about Joe Mixon getting released, but at the very last moment, he ended up getting traded over to the Texans. So we look at the depth chart even more. We're looking at Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Robert Woods. Now, Robert Woods could be one of those guys that may end up losing and might be just dropped just based on his age and his salary cap. He may lose that. But we look at that, you know, Dalton Schultz, they ended up re-signing Dalton Schultz back as well to kind of give more weapons for CJ Stroud, right? He's young, he's good at what he does, and I like that they're kind of building a nice little nucleus around CJ Stroud to really excel him. And he already made the playoffs his first year. We have to see what he gets into, but I think just having Joe Mixon on, they've been looking for a solid running back, right? Devin Singletary, think about what he did behind this offensive line. I think Joe Mixon is a better running back than Devin Singletary, because I can only imagine to see what Joe Mixon does. They ended up signing a nice little contract with these guys. I don't expect it to be very much. If anything, I think it's just a 1-year deal with him until his contract's up. Then they might be able to restructure that at the end. So let's look on and move right along here. We're talking about Sam Darnold now. He's ended up signing with the Vikings on a 1-year, $10 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings, and they need to revamp, right? They need to retool. They need to kind of rebuild around everything because Kirk Cousins is no longer there, right? They ended up releasing Alexander Madison as well, but that brings along the next guy, not only Sam Darnold, but they also got Aaron Jones from the Vikings, 1-year, $7 million deal. Now, I'm going to want to look at the depth chart and see what this team is actually looking like right now. If we look at it, Sam Darnold, Aaron Jones, you see those two in the yellow, meaning they just came to the offense. Ty Chandler did an amazing job last season, but I think he's gonna have to take a back seat because Aaron Jones will be the man. He's a little bit older in the tooth, over 30 years old. I think he's gonna be the 1A type of back, but there could be an injury history there, which could give Ty Chandler a good handcuff appeal. Look at the wide receiver position. You're still seeing Justin Jefferson there and Jordan Addison. And then N'Keal Harry would be obviously the number 3 wide receiver as of right now, just due to free agency. KJ Osborne no longer there. And then TJ Hockenson at that tight end position. Now, there was one game last year that we saw TJ Hockenson, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson all on the field at the same exact time without Kirk Cousins, and they all ended up doing pretty good. Jordan Addison actually had the most fantasy points in that game, but I think that they can be sustained from a quarterback. And a lot of people got to remember, I think that even Darnold himself, he's a good quarterback. He's a really good quarterback. I think he can sustain these wide receivers, and Justin Jefferson, absolutely. I think it's going to be a nice offense. It could be a sleeper offense for the season between Darnold and then Aaron Jones also coming to town. Could be a good thing to handle. I don't know. I think they're both on 1-year deals. Sam Darnold ended up getting $10 million, and Aaron Jones ended up getting $7 million. Mr. Cheetah, how are you? Keep up good work. I try to tune in every time you go live. Mr. Cheetah, appreciate you so much. Hit the like button. I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, man. There's so much news that we're going over right now. It's free agency has been absolutely crazy, absolute crazy. But I do appreciate all you guys tapping in. Definitely appreciate it. Just make sure you guys hit the like button for me. I really appreciate that. But we're gonna move on to the next guy here. We're talking about maybe some people are a little bit off the sky here, but I'm talking about Mike Gesicki going to the Bengals. They lost Irv Smith. He ended up moving on. I think Irv Smith ended up going to the Chiefs, I believe. So now they got Mike Gesicki. He's actually a decent tight end. He was pretty good for the most part when he played for Miami. Ended up going to the New England Patriots, kind of sharing the workload with Hunter Henry down there. Now he moves on to a tight end needy team in the Cincinnati Bengals. I think it's going to be pretty good for Mike Gesicki. If anything, this is the team that he's gonna be able to make a name for himself. If anything, if he's going to be anything in the NFL, now is the time. If you look at the depth chart here, Joe Burrow, we got Zach Moss, that new running back that was newly acquired, and we got to talk about. Remember, Joe Mixon gets traded over to the Houston Texans. It is purely Zach Moss's team. Look at that rookie that they had last year. Chase Brown came in. I don't think that they're gonna think he is the man. That's why Zach Moss will be the 1A running back in this situation. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, guys, remember the situation with T. Higgins, right? So T. Higgins was franchise tagged. They tried to work out a long-term deal. T. Higgins didn't like it. T. Higgins now requested for a trade. We'll have to see if the Bengals end up holding on to the disgruntled wide receiver and then just letting him go for free, or do they try to trade and get some type of compensation back for him? We're going to have to wait and see. So we're looking at that. Charlie Jones as well as a third wide receiver. We have to remember that Tyler Boyd is no longer there. He's gone in free agency. And then Mike Gesicki at the tight end position. Overall, it's not too bad. I think that the Bengals could have a nice, solid team, especially if T. Higgins is there. If they let T. Higgins go in free agency, they're going to have to get somebody else on the opposite side of Jamar Chase, because I just think that the offense is not going to be as good, obviously, without T. Higgins. But we'll have to see what kind of value he gets. So move on to the next guy here. We're talking about Darnell Mooney going to the Atlanta Falcons. It's going to be another wide receiver there for Kirk Cousins. We have to see how it goes. They do have Drake London on one side. Now they're going to have Darnell Mooney on the opposite. They had absolutely nothing at the wide receiver position. I mean, just look at the depth chart without Darnell Mooney. Without Mooney, you know, your second wide receiver is what? Josh Ali, Chris Blair, Austin Mack. Not a lot of good players. They had to go get a wide receiver, and that's what they did in Darnell Mooney. A nice possession wide receiver. We see Kirk Cousins there at the new quarterback. It's kind of a brand new Atlanta Falcons team that we're looking at here. Bijan Robinson at the running back position. Obviously Drake London and now Darnell Mooney. And then Kyle Pitts. What are we going to get out of Kyle Pitts? Who knows what this passing attack is going to be? We all know that Kirk Cousins is going to come in here, and he's going to sling the football. He's going to know what he's going to be doing. I think it's going to be a nice offense to look at and a nice offense to kind of see the fireworks, especially for fantasy football. I think it could be something special. So looking at the next guy here, we're talking about Derrick Henry, right? Derrick Henry going to the Ravens on a 2-year, $16 million deal. This could be a really good play for the Baltimore Ravens, right? They were kind of always looking for a running back, whether it's a J.K. Dobbins or Gus Edwards. People just injured all the time. They ended up signing Dalvin Cook at the end of last season. They go on a playoff run. That really didn't work out too much. Dalvin Cook didn't really show anything. So I think that Derrick Henry overall is going to be a phenomenal play for these guys. Look at the depth chart here. Lamar Jackson at the quarterback position. Derrick Henry now slots in at the running back position. Now, Keaton Mitchell, a lot of people are high on Keaton Mitchell. Could be a sleeper this season coming in. Could be the 1A running back, but I don't think that's going to happen, especially with King Henry in the building. He's going to get all of the carries. So you look at Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and Nelson Aguilar. We know Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent as well. And then the duo at tight end, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. I think overall this offense has a lot to prove. I think they are going to be absolutely phenomenal when it comes to fantasy points. I think they're not going to know what to do. Is it going to be a lot of RPO between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry flying back and forth? Who are you going to try to guard? Who are you going to try to tackle? Could be a scary type of offense. But guys, that's all we're going to cover. It was just a short little 15-minute stream, right? I just want to get out some of the little bit of news. There's just so much stuff that's coming out over and over and over. One of the things I just wanted to get out there, just don't overreact to all the news, right? There's going to be tons of more news coming up. The official signings are going to happen tomorrow. I'm really excited to see that. Look for a lot more videos coming out each and every week, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. I'd really appreciate that. But I appreciate you guys coming to my little 15-minute live stream. I can't wait to catch you guys on that next video. We'll see you guys next time.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. As you fade away. Your friend